Hi, Blue Team. It's Christy. We're getting ready for April 30th, the end of the month on humility. I don't know about you, but I have had an exercise in practicing humility this month, and it's been a good thing. Today, we're going to dig deeper into our memory verse. And our memory verse, if you remember, is Philippians 2:3-8. It says, "Don't do anything only to get ahead. Don't do it because you are proud. Instead, be humble. Value others more than yourselves." Have you ever looked at different translations of this verse, these verses? I heard a speaker talk recently, and she was using a version that says, "Don't be selfish." Do you remember how we started out this month? We started talking about what selfishness looks like, or being egocentric looks like. Do you see, after we've studied humility this month, how the opposite of humility can be selfishness, and how we all have to deal with selfishness daily in our lives? When we all take time to examine our natural response in most circumstances, say you're standing in line and someone cuts in front of you, what happens? Well, 9 times out of 10, I would imagine that I would say, that was not fair. I've been standing in line longer, I've got places to be, I've got things to do, and it's true, it was not fair. But all month we've been looking at Jesus' example to us of how he humbled himself and served not only the disciples, but us as well. So why would we expect fair? If we could help kids know 2 things this month, this is what I pray that they get. I pray that they know that Jesus loves them enough to be humble even in death, and then to show his power and his godness through his resurrection. The second is that because Jesus did all of that he consistently was humble and took the role of the servant, that we can put other people's needs ahead of our own. How else is someone going to know the power of God but for us to humble ourselves so he can work? I like to think about it this way. If I get out of the way, will somebody be able to see God better? Most likely, most of the time. I know it's definitely the case as I'm raising my kids. Now they're teenagers and they're quite sure that they've figured out a lot of things. But what I know is when I get out of the way and when I can trust and rely on God, that I know God's showing himself to them too. My reaction doesn't have to be how they view the world. God's molding of their heart is how they view the world. And so perfection is not, this is a daily struggle for me. I'm being completely honest with you guys. That's a completely daily struggle for me. I am a perfectionist at heart, but perfection is not the goal. Following God with our whole life is the goal. When we follow Jesus, we're always on the lookout for ways to turn things upside down, just like Jesus did. He turned the world upside down in the way he taught and the way he related to people, so that he could put other people first and ultimately take the ultimate sacrifice so that we could have a relationship with God. So, in your small groups this week, you're going to keep playing Slapjack. If you want to make up a new card game this week, you're welcome to do that, but I still think Slapjack is a lot of fun. When I was in high school, we had an advisory time, and I didn't use that time to study, hardly ever. We brought cards and we played either war or we played spades a lot. So even if we're just teaching kids a game that they can play in their pastime, it's a good thing. Then we'll head into large group where we'll do our Bible story for the day and really dig into the memory verse. And then your activity today, I think, could be really fun with your small group. It may stretch you a little bit if you're not a pop culture person. But what you're going to do is it's called No One Sings a Solo. And what you're going to do is have the kids pick someone that they think is a famous singer. So I'm going to use Justin Bieber as an example because it's somebody I was thinking about right now. And what I'm going to do is this is Justin Bieber, right? And let's see, we got to give him some hair because boy has hair. All right, so this is Justin Bieber. And we'll talk about Justin Bieber and how awesome he is. But then we want the kids to think about is there anybody else with Justin Bieber when he's on stage? And so have them start naming all of the people. Here are his backup singers. Here is his guitar player. Over here. You see that? Here is his drum player. Okay? And any other musicians that they know of that perform with Justin Bieber. I think he usually has some dancers too, so we'll draw them in. All right, so that's who's on the stage with Justin. But when he gets out there on stage, there's lots of people that helped him get there. Who are those people? So we've got a sound team, right? And that's probably like 10 or 12 people. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He probably has a publicist, and they've got a team of people. And then he's got probably makeup and costuming. Probably more than that, but you can guess. And let's see, we got the sound, we got people that make him look good. Is there anybody else I'm missing? Anyway, our goal is to keep filling this whole board with things. So these are the people that we know are directly make a whole show. But what are the other people behind the scenes that maybe we don't even think about? Who are those people? So that could be the person we have to make, the people we have to make contracts with so we can have a tour. Maybe that's a recording studio and all the people it takes to make a recording, and that's a whole lot of people. And what about the sound technicians that make all of that work? So I think you get the idea. To make Justin Bieber the man that he is, or isn't, he needs all of these people. I think this is a great way to show kids that for someone to know Jesus and all about him, they need more people. It also is a good way to show it takes real humility to acknowledge everyone that helped you sing a solo. So while Justin Bieber is the guy holding the mic, I know most performers know that they don't get there by themselves. Now, in front of the camera, it may seem like that, but most performers realize that without all of these people, they don't get there. And that is a picture of humility. I would encourage you that whoever this person is in the middle, that they are somebody that kind of looks like they do it all by themselves. So it could be a celebrity, it could be somebody else, probably not a sports star, because everybody knows that they can't play their sport unless they've got their team. And so try to pick somebody who it looks like they're doing it solo when they're out there performing. The next activity is your memory verse activity. That's your eggs and your soccer goal that you've had all month. Hopefully our soccer goals are holding up. I'll make sure that they are. If not, I'll make you some new ones. So your soccer goals for the month, your eggs that you've had, these all have the same number on them and they're the same color, but all of your eggs may not be the exact same color. The kids are going to make teams, and they're supposed to get all their eggs through the goal. Once they get their eggs through the goal, they've got papers in here. They're going to match up all of the papers to make the memory verse. That should be easier today. So if you haven't done this all month and you want to do it today, you focused on the memory verse, and so today would be a good day to focus on it again. And maybe even make it a different kind of game, and have me or somebody else in the group listen to your group say the memory verse, and I'll try to have prizes out for you guys to give to the kids for saying their memory verse, because we want to encourage them to continue to learn and grow with those memory verses. You'll pray for them, and one of the best ways we remember to put others first is by praying for them. If you can emphasize that with the kids and help them realize that by acknowledging other people's needs through prayer time, that's a really good way to show humility. And so ask them who you can pray with and for today. Pass out the God time cards and encourage kids to talk to their family about what humility is. Maybe they learned something new about humility. Maybe you learned something new about humility that you want to make sure parents know. Thanks for teaching this month. I look forward to May, where we will jump into talking about mazes and what that has to do with anything in the Bible. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Feel free to call or text me if you have any questions. We'll talk to you soon.